And today we are going to see the in operator and how to give a alias name for our table, and also not in operator. Okay, so let's see. And move on to, okay, so I'm going to use same PRIC database. Okay, so in that I have some couple of tables like customers, products, and employee also. Okay, and I just opened that. Okay, so I click and give new query. So before that, you will see some PPTs. Okay, right. So the SQL in operator. The in operator allows you to specify multiple values in a var class. Okay. So in yesterday classes, we have seen only how to pass a one value to one column, right? So by using in operator, we can pass two or more values in single field, that is column, right? So in the in operator allows you to specify multiple values in a var class, right? So the in operator is a sorted for multiple or conditions. Okay, so the in operator syntax is select column name from table and where which column you going to use and put here. Then after that you have to pass in, and after that inside the parenthesis you can give what length of values you want to pass here. Okay, with the help of commas, right? So let's see. And here I'm going to use the customer table. Okay, so we already know what are the fields in customer table, right? Customers, and I'm going to run this. Here we have customer ID, customer name, and contact name, addresses. Okay, then postal code and also country. Okay, so now I want to grab values or a record from some countries. Okay, like here I want to give country, and here I'm going to pass USA. So I'm going to run this. Now we have get what are the customers in USA, right? So now I want to add one more or two more countries. Okay, so here simple, you can remove your equal mark and simple put in here, and after that give parenthesis, and inside the parenthesis you can pass what length you want to filter here, right? So here I'm going to add one more country, that is Germany. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Now you can see here we have USA and Germany, right? So here I'm going to add one more, Brazil. We run this. Now you can see here we have USA, Germany, and Brazil also. Okay, so by using in operator, you can pass uh, two or more values. Okay, so in country field or whatever you field you want, you can pass here, right? So here I'm going to use. Okay, no problem. You can use country. Okay, so next I'm going to add one more, that is Italy. So now you can see here Italy is not there. Okay, I'm going to check what are the countries in customers table. Just I'm going to select the line select start from customers, right? In now we have Belgium, Canada. So I'm going to add Canada here. Just give comma and pass Canada, right? So I'm going to run this. Now you can see here. So we have USA, Canada, Germany. Okay. So Brazil also. Okay. So now you can pass two or more values in single column by using in, right? So now you get the values what are the customers name in USA, Germany, Brazil and Italy. So if you don't want to print the names from USA, Germany and Brazil, Italy and also Canada, simple you can pass not here. Okay, just you have to give not in, and after that what are the names you don't want to get the results, so you can give here. Okay, so now I run this. Now you can see here, so we don't have USA and Germany and Brazil, Italy. Okay, the balance countries are printed here, right? Okay, so you can use in and also not in by passing two or more values in single variable. Okay, and next, so next we'll see between operator. Okay, so if you want to print the prices between 10 to 20 or the date between some date to some other date. Okay, so you can use between operator to do such kind of things. Okay, so the SQL between operator, the between operator selects the values within a given range. Okay, so from one value to another value, right? So the values can be numbers, text or dates also, right? So the between operators is inclusive, begin and end values. Okay, so it's like a range function, or from 10 and 20. Okay, it also includes that value also. Okay, it won't print the between value, that is here you can see here they have given 10 and 20. Okay, so the 10 and 20 also inclusive in between statement. Okay, so let's see a couple of examples using between. Here I'm going to choose the product table. Okay, first we will see what are the fields in product table. Okay, so in product table we have product ID, product name, supplier ID, category ID and unit and also prices, right? Here I'm going to print some prices between using between operator, right? So just give var, after that you have to give your field name, that is column name, right? You have to give your column name. Here I'm going to print what are the products and units between some ranges, that is between some value to another some other value, right? So here I'm going to use price and give between. Okay, so after that now you can pass your value, starting value, that is here I'm going to pass 10, from 10 and 20. Okay, this is the index of between statement. First you have to give column name and after that use between, and after that you have to give your starting position and you have to give and. Okay, so after that you have to pass your ending value, right? So now I'm going to run this. Before that, so now you can see here we have a lot of price value, right? So from 34, 15, 26, 25. Okay, so and here we have a 6 also. Okay, so I'm going to run this. What happened? Okay, so here I have to change the data type because we have a 21.35 to data type int, right? You can't convert 21.35 into int data type. Okay, so here I'm going to convert price. Okay, so by converting price, okay, so you have to use some conversion process like convert. Okay, after that you have to give the parenthesis, open parenthesis, and after that you have to pass what data type you want to convert. Here I'm going to convert float. Okay, and after that you have to pass your column. Okay, so now you can get the answer. Okay, so here you can see here the values between 10 to the lowest value is 10 and the highest value is 19. Okay, the values between 10 to 20. Okay, so this is the conversion process. If you want to convert any data type, if you are wrongly created a column by using envar character, you can easily convert by using convert process, right? So you have to this is the syntax of convert. Okay, so you have to type convert. After that, what data type you want to convert, you have to put here. Okay, you have to put your data type, that is int, float, or date type. Okay, or else um, envar character. Okay, so you have to put your data type here. After that, give comma, then you have to pass your column name. Okay, okay, so now we have converted price into float. Okay, so after that, here I'm giving between, then 10 to 20. Okay, so now you can see here the values between 10 to 20. Okay, so let's see one more example. Here I'm going to pass product ID. Okay, so here I'm going to pass product ID, and here between, then between, just give 20 and 30. Okay, so now I'm going to run this. So now you can see clearly, right? So the value start from 10 and it ends with 30. Okay, so the between is used to between the uh, values. Okay, so between the records, between what are the limitations we are gave here, right? So the values are inclusive, the starting and ending value also, right? So next, and next is aliases. That is, uh, we have already seen some a couple of examples. Okay, so like in previous session, how to give a alias name in columns. Okay, so we can also give alias name for a table names also, right? So SQL aliases are used to give a table or a column in a table temporary name. Okay, so the aliases are often used to make column names more readable. Okay, so you can give any name you want, you can give as a alias name. Okay, so an alias name only exists for the duration of the query, right? So it won't affect your source, that is your table or your field. Okay, so it only exists for the duration. Okay, so when your code is running or end, right? And this is the syntax of alias name. Okay, first one is column syntax and select, then column name, and after that, as it's not mandatory, so okay, so you can use or just give a space, then you have to pass your alias name. Okay, then from table name, right? So after that, the alias name for table name. So same syntax. Okay, so instead of column you have to use table, right? So select column name and from table name as alias name. So here also the as is not mandatory, right? You can just give a white space, that's all, right? So let's see a couple of examples by using alias name. Okay, so select star from products. Okay, so here we have some fields, right? So I want to shortlist the fields. So here I want product ID and want product name and want the price. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Okay, so uh, here I'm going to add 10% discount for each price. Okay, so how to do that? Okay, let's see. So simple, and here we have price column, right? Okay, so 10% means I have to multiple 0.01 into the price column, right? So simple, you have to give star, that is for multiplication, and after that you can pass your numerical value, that is 0 point, sorry, 0.01, right? Okay, so now you get, here we have some error because the price is NVAR character data type. Okay, so here also we have to convert the price into integer or float conversion. Okay, because I have created the price field using NVAR character data type, right? So that's why it gives an error. Okay, so we can't do aggregate functions with strings or NVAR characters, right? So convert, we can do only the string concatenations. Okay, so we have seen in Python class. So there's our previous class. Okay, so let's see, convert. Here I want to convert the float data type. Okay, so now the problem has solved, right? So I run this. Okay, so now you can see here the 10% of each price list. Okay, this is the 10%. Okay, so I want to minus the 10%. Okay, so I have to minus the data, sorry, I have to minus the 10% of each field. So that's why I'm getting 10% discount, right? And it prints only the 10% of each field, that is each value. Okay, so I want to give a discount, right? So now I have to minus this 0.18 and 0.19 into the original value. That's why I'm getting the discount of 10%, right? So you can do the logical of queries also here, right? So first I have converted the price into float, and after that I have multiplied by using 0.01. Okay, then now I have to minus this value into my price field. Okay, so simple, and here you have to give price, then you minus, right, and you have to pass these entire converting and calculation process into a single parenthesis, right? So now you can see here I have given price minus, and inside the parenthesis I gave a convert float price and into 0.01. Okay, so now you can get the 10% discount of each price value. Okay, so I'm going to run this. Okay, so now you can see here, first the price is converted into float. Okay, then and it multiplies with 0.01, and after that the price have minused this value. Okay, so let's check, because here we have not convert the price into integer or float, then how the minus will happen, I don't know. Okay, so let's check. Here I'm going to give one more query, select from products. Okay, so here the choice value is 18. Okay, I'm going to run both tables, so sorry, both queries. So now you can see here the choice, right, the choice once again, yeah. So here we have 17.82 and here we have 18, right? It has subtracted. Okay, so we have a 10% discounted value here. Okay, so now we can see here it is 19 and the 10% is 0.19, right? So the value is subtracted and we get 18.81. Okay, and here also if you want you can convert your price into what data type you want, you can convert here, right? So I'm going to delete this. Yeah, okay, then I get 10% discount for each value. Okay, so now you can see here there is no column name in here. Why? Here I have given a name, right? The reason is, okay, so the reason is here we have fetched the field and convert into, or we have done some logical operations, right? So we have changed the column into our requirement value. Okay, so that's why here the column value is not showing. Okay, so here you have to give your alias name. Okay, okay, here you have to give your alias name. Okay, so even whenever you have to, or you want to do aggregate functions or conversion functions or a logical function, you have to give your alias name. Okay, if uh, you have done any aggregation functions or logical functions in here, okay, so you can do the multiplication, subtraction, and even divisions, or any if classes also in the select statement. Okay, so in the select query, okay, you can convert the field into what type, or if you want to multiply with someone, or if you want to add two columns together, and if you want to do some divisions, or if you want to add some strings, you can add here. Okay, so if you want to add, you have to give the alias name, right? Here I'm going to give 10%, 10% discount. Okay, And here also we have to use camel casing. Okay, uh, the same rules. Okay, so in variable creation of Python, so if you're taking variable creation of Python or variable assignment, we have certain rules, right? So uh, we have not using white spaces there, and we have not uh, declare any numbers in front of variables there. So that is the same process. And the difference is Python or case sensitive, and query languages, there is no problem. It's not case sensitive, right? Okay, you can use snake casing like 10 underscore per underscore discount. Okay, so now you can see here, so the column name has changed, right? So okay, so you can give here also just the as is not compulsory, right? So just giving give white space, and after that you can pass your name here, right? So instead of product name, I just pass products as a alias name, right? So now I'm going to run this. So now you can see here the product name is changed into products, right? So and also you can change your table names. That is a, so what table name you want, you can change. Okay, and the table alias name is maximum used in joins. While we'll go with joins, the table alias name is very much useful. Okay, because in that we are we will do lot of joining process, right? So in each joining process, and we have to type the table name repeatedly. Okay, so in that kind of situations, we can use the alias name. Okay, so if we'll take here the products is a table name. Here I have given a as a alias name for products, right? So if I go with joins, um, I have to use products in two or more times. Okay, so two or more times. So okay, so in each time I have to type products. Okay, so instead of products I can use a. That is simple. And okay, and let's do some logical operations in here, right? So going to delete this, and here select star from products. Okay, and here I'm going to give product id comma product name comma unit and comma price. Okay, so we have some fields here, right? Product id, product name, unit, price. Okay, so let's do some uh, string concatenations and some logical operations here, right? So here I want to add product name and unit to print in same column. Okay, just you can remove the comma and just give plus. Okay, so both are nquire characters, right? You can add two strings. Okay, you cannot add one string and one integer. Okay, so and you can add integer to integer, and you can add integer to float. Okay, so and also you can concatenate nvar character to nvar character, right? So here product name also nvar character and unit also nvar character. Okay, so let's see. Okay, so now we can see here, so the size 10 boxes into 20 bags. Okay, and here we have no space here, right? Okay, so I'm going to add some spaces. So for identification, uh, I just give two hyphens. Okay, so now you can see here the choice is product name, and 10 boxes into 20 bags is a unit name, right? So the product name is Grandpa's Boysberry Spread, right? The unit name is 12. Okay, so you can add other columns like this. Okay, so then here also you have to give your column name, column alias name. Okay, because here you are joining two columns and uh, to print a new column, right? So here also you have to give your column name, right? I'm giving product underscore units. Okay, I'm going to run this. You can see here the column name has changed under the product underscore units. Okay, so now we get the merged column of product name and unit, right? Okay, and product name, comma, price, then comma, oh, here units, comma. Okay, so and the next process is I want to print the price with the concatenation of or the price with rs or rupees. Okay, so I'm going to, okay, so here I'm going to uh, add rs with this price list. Okay, so rs, like here just you have to pass r, yes, and then give plus, that's all, right? So I'm going to run this. We have an error. So the name units, that is unit, I think so. Yeah. Oh, that is unit, right? So now you can see here the price with rs, right? So here we have no spaces. I'm going to add some space here. Just I space. Okay. So excuse me. Yeah. So now you can see here, and in every record we have rs with price, right? Okay, and here also you have to pass your alias name. You can use same name of your field, right? So of your table. Okay, so now you can see here the product name, product ID, and unit, and also price with rs. Okay, and okay, so let's move on to another topic. Okay, so next we'll go with SQL joins. Okay, so before that, we will see some keys. Okay, so that is a primary key and foreign key. So those are very much important. So while creating a table, right? So the primary key is used to identify the records, right? How many records are in your table? We can identify by using primary key. Okay, so the primary key is only one in the table, right? So but the foreign key we can use three or more or one or more keys. Okay, so the primary key is used to identify your rows. Okay, so primary key is unique key. Okay, and it is auto increment key. Okay, so that is okay. So the foreign key means in Saturday class we have seen if we have to join two tables, we need an common column with both tables, right? So the common column is called foreign key. Okay, so if we declare a foreign key in any field, okay, so this is the concept of parent and child. Okay, so if you want to fill some data in child table, okay, so uh, child table refers the foreign key from its parent table. Okay, if the foreign key is there, you can add the data in your child table. If that the data is not in your parent table, you can't add your data in your child table. Okay, that is the concept of a foreign key and primary key. Okay, so first today we will see what is primary key and how to create a primary key. Okay, so before that we will create a table by using the auto increment value. Okay, so let's create. Okay, just you have to give create table, and after that you have to pass your table name, right? So my table name is I give 4 p.m. batch. Okay, after that you have to pass your data. So here you have not using 4. Okay, and here now you can give your columns. First I'm going to give id. Okay, in id I'm going to declare a primary key or auto increment value. So by doing that you have to mention it is not null column, right? So first you have to mention the data type, that is int, and after that you have to mention it is not null. Okay, so it is not null, and after that you have to give the auto increment key, that is identity. Okay, then comma. If now the id column is not null and that is identity. Okay, so next I'm going to give name, right? Then here I'm going to pass enval character, and that is 250, or you can give max instead of 250, right? So here I'm going to give the pt, that is enval character. Okay, and here I'm using max and city and enval character and max. Okay, so the id value has automatically takes, right? You won't give any value while inserting the table, right? So because here we are using identity. Okay, the value is automatically takes in id column. Okay, so it's based on how many rows you are going to insert. If you are going to insert 4 rows, it takes 4 values. Okay, so the value is automatically increased, right? So now I'm going to run this. So the incorrect syntax near, oh, here, yeah. So now the table has created. Okay, so you have to click your server and refresh it. Then you go and click the plus mark and the database. After that, here PRSC, and in PRSC going to click tables, and here now the table has created, right? Okay, so I'm going to copy some value directly. Okay, so we have already seen in a Saturday class, right? So once more I'll show you how to insert the two or more values directly. Okay, so simple, you have to right click here, okay, in your table, and give your, just a minute, yeah. So go and click, right click your table and give edit top 200 rows. Okay, so now you can see your fields, id, name, department, and city. Okay, so here the value has automatically, the value will automatically increasing. Okay, so you have not passed any value in here, right? Because we are declared id as a identity. Okay, and you have to declare, or you have to insert the values in these three departments. Okay, so I'm going to open Excel for bulk insertion. Okay, and here we have four fields, right? So I'm going to copy that fields. Sorry, select star from 4, what is that name, 4 p.m. batch. Okay, so I'm going to copy this, click here, sorry, and click here, copy with headers. Here we don't have any values, right? So just copy the headers and paste here, and in this field you won't give any values because this is identity. Okay, so that's why you won't give any value here, and you have to give the rest of these three columns. Okay, I'm going to pass some values here, name, and here also, or we'll take some data from employee table. Okay, then insert the data into here, or customers table, right? Here we have some shippers and order detail and employee table and also customer table. Okay, shall will create the data, we will get the data from these tables and insert into the new table, right? So let's get the data. Start from select start from employee. Okay, okay, so here we have some data, or I'm going to take data from customers. Okay, here we want contact name because the company name has stored in the customer name. Okay, so we want contact name, right? Contact name, that is, yeah, contact name. After that, we want department. Here we don't have any department. Okay, so I'm going to create a column. You can also create a column, that is a for your printing, right? It won't affect your source, and it won't save any where in your table, right? So simple, you here you are going to create some column for satisfy your tables, or for your requirement, right? Here I'm going to give triple E or a CSE, CSE, okay, and give a space. Then you have to give your name for that. CSE is a value, right? So you have to give a name. Here I'm going to give department, right? Then, and we have city right here. I'm going to run this. So now you can see here we have 93 values with department of CSE, right? Okay, so you can also create a column, okay, in here. Then I'm going to copy this, just copy, okay. You don't need the header files, right? Just copy and click here, then paste it. Simple. Okay, we have 93 data with the department of CSE. Okay, so and here while copying the data, you have to select with empty because we have 4 columns and the ID. Okay, so the ID field is automatically increasing, right? Okay, so that's why I'm copying the empty cells. Okay, so you have to copy the empty cells. Okay, so if you go with inserting query, so you have not passed. This is not necessary. Okay, you don't pass any empty value in there. If you go with the copy session, right, like this, if you go with copying this entire data into single click, right, so you have to copy the empty space for ID. Okay, so let's copy this. Okay, so now you have copied I have copied 1 2 3 4 columns, right? So with first column is an empty value, right? Okay, here click this and click the whole line and paste here. Okay, the ID value, now you can see here, so the ID value is automatically inserted, right? So and we have inserted 91 value. Okay, and this is the primary key. Okay, you can also declare as a primary key, and you can have an option to give auto increment value into your field. Okay, so let's see the insertion. I'm going to insert a row, right? A single row. Insert into. So before that, I'll show the fourth student batch for AM batch, right? That is my table. So I'm going to run this. Here we have some from okay. So now you can see here the last value is 91, right? So I'm going to add one more value by using insert option, right? Insert query. So insert into the table name. Table name is for PM batch. Okay. Then here you have to pass the columns. That is here I'm going to give name, comma dpt, comma ct. Okay. So in insertion query, okay. So the ID value is automatically increasing, right? So it is not necessary to give here, right? You just pass the rest of 3 columns in here, right? Okay. So that values, after that here just give name, comma, then department and comma city, right? So I just give the field names as a value for just an identification, right? Okay, so I'm going to run this. So the row has affected, right? So I'm going to check this. Select star from 4 p.m. batch, right? So I'm going to run this. It's invalid option. What the happened? Oh, yeah. Okay. Now you can see here the 92 has added the ID value is 92 and its name and department and city. Okay. So while using the uh, this option, while if you are going with this option, you have to copy empty cells for ID. Okay, so with you have to copy like this, like with the empty shell of the automated column. Okay, if you are going with insertion process, right? If you go with insertion process, uh, this is not necessary. So okay, the identity column is not necessary to pass here. Okay, you just pass the rest of 3 columns. Okay, the ID value is automatically taken. Okay, so if you go with this option, you have to copy the empty cell for the identity column, right? This is the difference. Okay, and here you can copy thousand or trillions, sorry, trillions of data takes time. Okay, so 1,000 or 2,000 or 10,000 data. Okay, so by a single click. Okay, so by using this option. Okay, so in during web development, they are using insert into option. Okay, because they are adding the data in uh, one by one, right? So they are using insert option. Okay, and tomorrow we'll see the joints. That is very important topic for tables, right? So we have 3 joints, that is a left, a right and full joint, and also inner joint. We have 4, right? So in mainly we are using left and inner joints, right? So that is more important topic because while writing coding, most of the tasks will be connecting 2 or 10 or more tables. Okay, in sometimes we have to connect 20 tables or 30 tables. Okay, so in that we have to use left, inner, full and right join. Okay, so we'll see in tomorrow. Thank you all. Thank you.